Good afternoon, class. Today we'll be doing a strategic analysis on Kodak. My name is Chanel Probst.
I'm Jamie Bell.
William Calhoun.
And Melvia Taylor.
We will first give you a brief overview of what we'll be discussing today. We will go to a general background description on Kodak and the industry. We will tell you the major competitors and then go into an industry analysis and then analysis on Kodak itself. We will then mention alternatives and evaluations and then give recommendations.
Kodak was founded in 1982 by George Eastman. Its main goal was to make photography convenient as a pencil. With that goal in mind, they managed to control the majority of the market share, as well as if any consumers wanted any type of photographic equipment, they usually went to Kodak. And now, because of the technological boom and advancement, Kodak is now more focused on digital imaging and printing.
Next, we will discuss the industry background. And before the boom in technology, the industry could be described as the photography services equipment industry. The focus has now shifted within the industry, causing the industry to stay in transition to keep up with the changing demand in technology. And due to this change in technology, the industry can now be described as the digital imaging industry. The shift has caused the industry to offer products and services that make the process of capturing and processing digital images convenient and effortless. Next, we will discuss the three main competitors, and Kodak's three main competitors are Canon, Hewlett-Packard, and Sony.
As you can see, he's going to talk about the industry attractiveness, and to do that, you need to first look at the ROA, and the orange represents the average for this particular industry, and you can see it's stable a little bit over 0%, which isn't bad for an industry, but it's not good because you'd rather be higher than just and increasing rather than just staying stable. You also can see we have the Porter's 5 force model up here. And with that, you see the substitutes. You have cameras, MP3s, iPods, and other things like that. So you no longer really need a camera to take these pictures or images. And with the increase of technology, there's also easier for new entrants to come into this industry, which also lowers the attractiveness because that brings competition. And with competition, you have the buyers have the power to choose do they want this product or do they want that product based off the lowest prices or what they want from that.
Now we have the opportunities and threats. There are opportunities in this industry that, if taken advantage of, would help to improve the attractiveness, such as emerging markets in foreign countries, such as Brazil, Russia, India, and China. These countries are building their middle class, which is giving them a higher demand for digital cameras. Also, there are threats that are increasing the level of unattractiveness, such as rapid technology, which will lead to a faster product life cycle.
We will now discuss Kodak's business model. And Kodak is a company within the digital imaging industry that focuses on selling printing services to a target group of individuals. And Kodak's business model can be broken down into three segments. The first segment is the market segment. And Kodak has a focused market segmentation, which means they focus primarily on those individuals who want printing services. The price range for these products range slightly lower than their competitors, and due to their exit of the camera business, the digital camera business, they now have a consolidated range of products, and they focus on printing services.
Next, we will discuss the strengths and weaknesses. And there are many internal components that help and hinder the company. For instance, Kodak's strong brand name has helped them to survive the current struggle because people remember the great film products. However, their inability to interpret the signs in the market has caused them to lose market share.
Next, we will discuss if Kodak is adding value or not. And you can see in the value added chart, which represents the ROIC for the different competitors. Kodak has not been adding value for the last 5 years or so, which means that they do not have a competitive advantage. Even though they have strengths such as their strong brand names and their partnerships they're not using these resources efficiently or effectively. Here you can see the value creation frontier, and Kodak is on the lower end of the scale, which means they have a low cost structure. Even though Kodak wants to build their company into a company that has sophisticated printers and printing services, they haven't quite moved to that point yet. You can see Hewlett-Packard is at the opposite end of the value creation frontier, and they are more differentiated in their services and what they have to offer. And they are also above the line, which means they are adding value. And you can see that Kodak is below the line, which means they are not adding value.
Now we have the key strategic issues. The key strategic issue is inability to capitalize on many strengths that had put them in the lead earlier on. Due to this, that means that their resources and capabilities do not fit together.
They were not capitalizing on the strengths that they had and not utilizing the products which they had, which were the patents, which were the 1,100 patents that they have. And also they were slow to innovate.
So some alternatives that we came up to help Kodak out was to change middle and higher level management. And this was basically because, as mentioned earlier, they were not using their resources or their innovation that they had. We feel like a newer head or somebody that can use that resource and move them in the right direction and bring some back those old Kodak minds and ideas that put them in the lead in the first place. And our second was to become a consultant to other firms. And this is because throughout the research we've done, we've seen that Kodak has always been a leader in research and development. Even though we haven't seen too many products go forth, they still were one of the first with the digital cameras in the first place, which shows that they have the tools necessary to be innovative. They just haven't been able to necessarily put them forth and move forward with that.
Although these alternatives would help Kodak, they would gain and lose different things. For the first alternative, which would be to change their upper or middle level management, they would gain consistent strategies that would be closer to the dynamics of Kodak, but they might lose their core competence, and it might be altered, such as their brand name or efficiency. For the second alternative, which would be to turn themselves into a consulting firm, they would have increased power within the market because companies would be coming to them for their knowledge and expertise. But they would have to alter their entire business model, which may lead to an increased negative margins within the start of this transition.
And now, let's see, recommendations. We recommend that Kodak become a consultant to other firms due to their leadership abilities and expertise and their ability to be innovative in their R&D. This concludes our presentation. Are there any questions?
Thank you.